It is undeniable that over recent years, South Korea has risen to the forefront of the entertainment world. Known as Hallyu, or the Korean Wave, K-culture is taking the world by storm. Korean entertainment on Netflix ranks number 2 worldwide, with K-pop consistently being in the top number 1 and number 2 spots in music throughout the world. South Korea has created many entertaining shows, some with wholesome messages and plots. However, alongside these uplifting, heart-touching shows, Korean media has increasingly incorporated shamanism and the occult into its entertainment. What used to be niche and hidden from the public is now being displayed and promoted not just in top department stores in Korea, as we discussed with Veneda, but across all forms of Korean media, including K-pop, movies, television shows, and social media. More than just a creative choice to evoke mystic and horror atmospheres, South Korean media is introducing esoteric content and narratives through entertainment in each media industry. Starting with television media, Exuma is a 2024 movie about a group of shamans, a geomancer, and a mortician who, while trying to move the grave of a wealthy family, release vengeful spirits that now compel the main characters to use occult powers to calm and fight them. During the filming of one of the ritual scenes, the cast and crew claimed that a real ghost was summoned and the shaman on set had to cast it out. Exuma was the movie that began breaking the taboo on occult themes in Korean film, thanks to its well-crafted production, excitement, and popularity. Since the release of this film, shamanism has been a recurring theme through much of K-culture media. The second movie, If Wishes Could Kill, is a shamanistic horror movie that reached number 1 in 21 countries, including Korea. The movie is about students who create an app that puts curses upon the users, and the app cannot be deleted, leading to users being followed around by demonic spirit manifestations of death, ending in their eventual murder. The shaman is portrayed as the superhero who steps in to break the digital curse, a techno-shaman, and free the victims from demonic oppression. This movie is gaining popularity for its new and fresh take on the horror genre and will soon become a standard way of producing horror films, according to those in the Korean film industry. Other movies included in this occult list that reached notoriety are The Priests, The Wailing, Dark Nuns, Savha, The Sixth Finger, Devil's Stay, The Cursed, The Divine Fury, and Along with the Gods. Television shows are also seeing an uptick in occult content. Possessed Love is a popular dating show where shamans participate in rituals to cast a view on what their romantic futures will look like. Phantom Lawyer is a recent Netflix show ranked 5th globally among non-English programs. It is about a lawyer who uses shamanistic powers and spirit possession as a way to work with the client's families. And most notably on the list, the new Disney Plus show, Battle of the Fates, which premiered in 2026. In the show, 49 different shamans and occult practitioners test their skills in a survival-style game show by competing against each other to tell fortunes, contact the dead, summon their personal deities, and perform other occult rituals. When the show was released, Disney Plus subscriptions in Korea increased by almost 3 million new subscriptions in 1 month, a 20% rise in monthly subscriptions. And with the show's popularity, the shamans are holding international fan meetups in countries like Thailand, where tickets sell out within 2 minutes of going on sale. With the success of Battle of Fates, Disney Plus has decided to make an international version of the show, hoping it does as well as the Korean original. These shamans in the show are not just old grandmothers, but young and vibrant Gen Z persons, some even teenagers, who are showing the world that shamanism is not frightening, it's not exclusive, but is a practice that anyone can pursue. Western occultism is often seen in a negative light, as something that is dark and demonic and should be avoided. However, Korean shamanism is being well received by international audiences as a fresh and unusual cultural phenomenon, thanks to popular movies and television shows that have destigmatized its mysteries. Occultism is cast in the light of innocent interaction with the spiritual forces and nature surrounding us every day. According to Korean Shamanism, these forces are not frightening spirits, but are misunderstood persons, seeking to help or to be helped by the shaman intermediary. One of the movies not listed above is K-Pop Demon Hunters, because I want to lay some groundwork in the K-pop industry before getting to the movie, so that the movie's message is fully understood. So before we get to the worldwide hit K-Pop Demon Hunters, let's discuss the narratives and imagery of shamanism and the occult in K-pop, which served as the inspiration for the movie's plot. Korean-American author Chaewon Koo, a practicing witch, claims that with K-pop stars literally being called idols, these performances by the groups are not just entertainment, but are forms of ritual magic that are sponsored by the government themselves, not just providing fun ways to harness soft power over the entire world, but a witchcraft practice of influencing audiences through energy manipulation and attraction. A bold claim. However, occult messages and influence in media are nothing new to the American reader, who is well aware of the occult, Freemasonic, and Kabbalistic influence in music and media. However, it is often a surprise to Westerners to realize that South Korean entertainment uses the same methods as Hollywood, except with their own cultural twist. As we will soon realize, although advertised as different paths of the occult, whether shamanistic or Freemasonic, overlap in message, ideology, and symbolism occur frequently. We will begin by looking at BTS, one of the most popular K-pop groups of all time. BTS is a group of 7 male members well known for hit singles such as Dynamite, Butter, and Boy With Love, which have captivated global attention since their debut in 2013. Many fans view their music as having saved their lives, and that it was a healing medicine to them in times of pain and struggle. Keep this theme in mind, as it is one of the central inspirations for K-pop Demon Hunters. In the same way that K-pop idols use dance and music to save and heal their fans, shamans have been doing this for centuries. After a 4-year break for BTS's fulfillment of their Korean military service, BTS released their comeback album in 2026 titled Arirang, a very meaningful word and song in Korean culture that is the embodiment of everything it means to be Korean: the joy, the sorrow, the suffering, the victories, and the essence of being Korean. BTS has used the word Arirang in their new album to connect with the soul of Korean identity. However, what most are unaware of is the shamanistic roots of the word Arirang. Arirang is not only a description of what it means to be strong and courageous and to endure suffering and sorrow, but Arirang was foremost used as a way to welcome and receive the soul of the dead, paired with the word Shrirang, showing that the soul was awakening. The word is a part of ancient Korean shamanistic rituals. According to Soo-yeon Yu, quote, Arirang represents the symbolic process of awakening the radiant seed of life, Ari, to become a human who embodies the cosmic light, Rang. It is a song of the journey back to our original brilliance. Tracing the origins of Arirang farther back leads us to the most ancient memories of human civilization. Various traditions speak of a golden age, roughly 10,000 years ago, an era of goddess culture where life, nature, and the universe existed in a single harmonious order. At the heart of this culture was the mother's role as the transmitter of the light of life. It is said that the mother bestowed the vital energy of life upon the fetus, maintaining the consciousness that humans are beings eternally connected to the cosmic light. The symbol passed down from this era is the flower of light. It represents the radiance of life blooming within the human soul, sometimes referred to as Yul Yo Hua, the flower of cosmic resonance. It symbolizes the experiential awakening of one's original light. Arirang is a symbolic narrative of the human journey toward our original light. It is the process of awakening the Ari, seed of life, and evolving into the Rang, human of light. Not only is this term Arirang shamanistic in nature, but but it also has an underlying philosophy that has commonalities with the mystery religions, Gnosticism, and Hinduism. In the mystery religions and Gnosticism, the goal of each human is to discover the divine spark of godhood in ourselves through knowledge, eventually uniting with the Pleroma. And within Hinduism, breaking free of the reincarnation cycle and realizing that your Atman, or soul, is Brahman, God, and, through moksha, uniting your Atman with Brahman. In other words, humanity realizes through enlightenment that we are gods and one with the divine. Another shamanistic influence on BTS is their fashion style and choices. As an all-male group, BTS is known for wearing female clothing, makeup, and accessories, often defying gender expectations for dress and fashion. As discussed before, this gender bending aligns with the shamanistic practice of androgynous spirituality and ritual. In ancient Korean shamanism, subverting that which is normal within society, known as sagwan, was essential for successful shamanistic rituals. What one comes to realize is that it is not only BTS that challenge the male and female binary. Almost all male K-pop groups express femininity through soft makeup and feminine clothing, and almost all female K-pop groups embody masculine energy through tough rap and hip-hop personas and clothing. An instance where this shamanistic gender neutralization is seen is in BTS's Idol music video and live performance, where one member performs an ancient Korean shamanistic dance, only historically performed by women, called buchechum. When he performs this dance, he not only is wearing female attire and performing a female ritual, but is simultaneously portraying the non-binary and fluid gender standards of Korean shamanism that exist within the androgynous role of shamans in the human spirit contact. This gender neutrality is not just limited to the Idol video. It can be seen across many of their other videos and photo shoots. It is often incorporated into BTS's routines, influenced by salpuri. Salpuri is a form of Korean dance that is known for casting out and ridding an area of evil spirits, most likely influenced by exorcism dances performed by shamans. This occult belief and practice of gender bending is known as androgyny and is a key concept within Gnosticism and the Pleroma, where salvation is found by transcending binaries, including gender, becoming one. In Hinduism, the soul must free itself from worldly illusions to be united with Brahman. This includes transcending gender distinctions. In Buddhism, the non-self, anatta, is held back from enlightenment by maintaining physical attributes of the material world and must be transcended and subverted, including gender, similar to how the bodhisattvas have transcended gender. Then, looking at the Buddha himself, while male in his physical life, is seen as non-binary and gender fluid once enlightened. In Taoism, each individual is seen as enmeshed in opposing energies, and these must be balanced to reach primordial harmony, including balancing male and female energies within oneself and transcending gender dualities. In Sufi Islam, one of the goals is to return to the original genderless soul of the divine being. In Kabbalistic Judaism, transcending duality is taught in many different theological ways, emphasizing the fluid and always transitioning reality of the physical world between dualities, including gender, which are just divine energies that are interchangeable and not physical characteristics, believing Adam in the garden was an androgynous being before God separated Eve from him. In Freemasonry, androgyny is symbolized by the rebus, an alchemical symbol, representing the transcendence of dualities, including gender, becoming one. The Baphomet, utilized by occult religions, including Wicca, the Satanic Temple, and Aleister Crowley's Thelema, represents the balance of opposites, light and dark, above and below, male and female, breaking the established binaries to bring order out of chaos. In Christianity, within heretical breakoffs and Roman Catholic mysticism, similar ideas can be seen. However, Apostolic Christianity, as seen in Eastern Orthodoxy, within its teachings and tradition, is the only religion that fundamentally rejects the occult practice of transcending duality, instead seeing these categories as beautiful and intentional creations of God. We will come back to this concept of transcending duality soon. In their music videos, BTS also utilizes occult symbolism indicative not only of shamanistic influence, but also of possible influences from Gnosticism, Freemasonry, and the occult at large. For example, in their music video Idol, the group is seen dancing in a courtyard surrounded by arches. In mythology and Freemasonic teaching, arches are seen as an entrance to liminal spaces, a portal from the physical realm into the spiritual realm. Considering they perform shamanistic dances in their routines, it is not far-fetched to see how their dances are paired with occult symbolism, communicating to the audience through imagery that the song and dance are a ritual, opening interdimensional portals, sending us into the spirit world, a practice in Korean Shamanism known as Mal Moon, where the shaman talks to the spirits of other dimensions in their own language. Then, in the Dynamite music video, we see BTS standing on a stage between two pillars. From an occult and Freemasonic philosophical worldview, the two pillars are symbolic of Yakin and Boaz, the two pillars that are believed to be at the sanctuary entrance of King Solomon's temple. According to Freemasonry, they represent dualism, the balance of light and darkness, male and female, physical and spiritual, the balance of the opposites, perfection as the occult believes, and through these pillars, one is initiated into the mysteries of the universe and begins the path to enlightenment. Once again, these pillars serve as an entrance into the spiritual world through ritual, which, from a Christian theological perspective, uses visual cues that symbolically mirror the concept of spiritual thresholds or portals. This is also seen in many of their other music videos, including Boy with Love, where they stand between two lampposts that are equidistant from each other. These pillars are often paired with the winding staircase of Freemasonry. This winding staircase represents ascent to a higher degree within the secret society. The individual who ascends to higher levels is now an example of enlightenment and wisdom to the world. The Mason is now on a path to self-deification and must vow to make the world a better place. In their music video for DNA, a black hole is prominently featured, which carries along with it the occult symbolism of the Mother of Creation, or the One which all are connected to and will eventually return to when enlightenment is reached. And in this video, along with many of their others, you will see black and white constantly appearing, whether on the floors, grids, or colorings of the background. This black and white imagery is a core tenet of Freemasonry and represents the duality of the world, where neither side must be embraced but held in harmony. There is no light, no dark, no good, no bad. It is about balancing both realities to achieve perfection. These arches, pillars, portals, staircases, black holes, and checkerboards are also seen in many other K-pop group videos. This is a strange stylistic choice to say the least, a style seen across American and Korean media with a heavy focus on Greco-Roman architecture and symbolism. At a certain point, one could say, it is not coincidental, but intentional. This checkerboard floor also appears on their visualizer for the song Blood, Sweat, and Tears, probably their most occult music video to date. In the same video, one of the members is seen sitting in a bathtub or pool, a symbolic representation of rebirth through water, and that through rebirth, he has been initiated into the occult circles and schools of knowledge. These are known as the waters of occult regeneration, and by showing us the symbolism, the video is alerting the viewer of this reality, and that the viewer, as one who is uninitiated, is a part of the profane. Sitting directly behind the pool is a recreation of the famous Michelangelo Pieta statue, which sits between two black pillars. Yet upon further inspection, it is clear that although Mary's face is visible, Jesus' face and body have been digitized or pixelated to make him unrecognizable in the statue. Towards the end of the video, the Pieta is shown in close-up, and the face of the Mother of God is blown up. Make of that as you will. Moving to the main hall of this video, the members are seen dancing between the Greek god Hermes and the Greek goddesses Demeter or Gaia, who are often depicted in identical ways, making it difficult to distinguish between the goddesses, both housed within their own arches and pillars. In Greek mythology, Hermes is known for moving between the divine and physical realms, serving as a psychopomp and magician, making him equivalent to Thoth in ancient Egyptian mythology, who is also seen as a psychopomp and a god of magic and the dead. On the other side of the group, the goddesses Demeter and Gaia are presented. In Greek mythology, both individuals are seen as goddesses of the harvest and fertility, with Demeter being the goddess of the Eleusinian mystery schools and Gaia being the primordial mother goddess of all creation. Given BTS's alleged religious affiliations, which will be covered soon, the character is most likely Gaia, yet the statue's ambiguity might be intentional, conveying multiple meanings. At the end of the music video, a black winged statue appears, most likely a representation of Lucifer or a fallen male divine being, and as the song ends, one of the members walks up to the statue and kisses it on the lips. Not only does this break gender norms in the binary of male and female relationships, but from a Christian perspective, it also breaks spiritual and physical norms of romantic interactions happening between humanity and spiritual beings, which was the very reason the world was flooded in Genesis 6, when the rebellious spiritual beings gave esoteric knowledge to men in exchange for human women, which through sexual relations brought forth the ancient men of renown, the giants, the Nephilim. This kiss breaks duality and symbolically ushers the individual into higher levels of knowledge, now being presented in the music video as a fallen angel himself. The scene then cuts to the same member with clipped wings, either symbolically representing himself as a fallen divine being or as a Nephilim of human and divine origin. When looking at the lyrics to this music video, what may appear to be a sensual love song to a girl they love appears to be a song to someone else. From a Christian perspective, it is hard to support the sensual song theory when the lyrics are paired with the symbolism. Instead of a girl, it seems as if the video is communicating the song is about offering blood, sweat, and tears to a dark-winged divine being represented in the statue. The part I would like to highlight is a bit further down the line, where it states, "Kiss me on the lips, a secret just between the two of us, deeply poisoned by the jail of you. I cannot worship anyone but you, and I knew the grail was poisoned, but I drank it anyway. My blood, sweat, tears, and my last dance, take it all away." Towards the end of the video, a member is seen walking up to a black mirror that has a quote from Nietzsche inscribed above that says, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." Firstly, in the occult, a black mirror represents, quote, "a portal between the conscious and subconscious mind, a tool for divination through scrying, a shield against hostile energy, and a surface for shadow work. The deliberate confrontation with the parts of yourself you have not yet integrated." End quote. Paired with the quote from Nietzsche, it is difficult not to see the Freemasonic motto, "Order out of chaos," echoed in these words, regardless of whether Nietzsche was anti-Masonic or not. Alongside the symbolism of their music, the messages of the music videos have frequently been evaluated in light of highly publicized internet theories about BTS's connection to a meditation organization named Dawnworld, which HYBE has categorically denied, emphasizing that such claims are unverified online rumors about the group's educational background. Public speculation in Korea about the connection often points out that 6 of 7 members graduated from Global Cyber University, an institution founded by the creator of the meditation organization Dawnworld. Both organizations were started by Songhyun Lee, where they teach students about brain education. This practice focuses on aligning one's energies, vibrations, and brain through meditation and yoga practices to free their souls and reach harmonic convergence, mixing ancient Korean philosophy with the Taoist philosophy of Sundao culture. Sundao culture is also known as internal alchemy, and Dawn World was one of the first to revive this ancient practice in the 1980s with Dawn, or Tan, as their version of Tenjeon, which is a branch of Taijongmyo. Dawn World believes that through their organization, they are bringing the same form of internal alchemy that Tangun, the founder of Korea, used, which is significant because, as discussed at the start of this essay, Tangun is seen as the founding shamanist of Korea. By using this form of shamanism, Dawn World teaches that individuals can connect and use the power of life electrons. Lee Sung-hyun believes that man is God, and God is man, and Mago, the goddess of space, is their central deity who created the universe. As discussed earlier, Mago, or Magu, the mother goddess of the Korean people, was a goddess from Chinese culture, eventually becoming one of the goddesses that reside within the Korean mountains and known within Dawn World as the mother of all humans. She is very similar in function to the ancient Greek goddesses Gaia and Demeter. Mago is Mother Earth, and aligns with the ancient mother goddess worship of Demeter in the Eleusinian mystery religions. As discussed, the statue mentioned earlier in BTS's video might have been purposely ambiguous to harmonize their affinity for the spirits behind the goddesses Gaia and Demeter. The goal of Dawn World's practice is for humanity to become gods, the same goal of other religions such as Shamanism, Hinduism, Gnosticism, New Age, and the mystery schools. Dawn World believes that if 100 million people participate in their cinnabar field meditation, known as brain respirations, they will be able to summon an enlightenment revolution across the world. Dawn World itself clarifies, quote, "Our values are inspired by Korea's founding principles," end quote. What we see with their claim to being connected to Tangun, who was Korea's first shaman, is that shamanism, alchemy, and occultism are the foundation and inspiration of these meditation practices promoted by Dawn World. When this connection between BTS and Dawn World first began to break, numerous high-profile articles discussed the internal connections among HYBE, BTS, and Dawn World. Reflecting the unique nature of South Korea's strict defamation laws, which penalize the public dissemination of reputation-damaging claims, regardless of the truth or falsity of internet rumors, action was taken against these article publishers for promoting theories of the supposed connection. This intersection of media and online rumor came to a head when HYBE, a South Korean company, pursued legal action in the US court system to unmask anonymous accounts, highlighting how seriously the industry protects its intellectual property from unverified online associations. However, this occult imagery in music videos that seems to be connected to Dawn World are not just limited to BTS. HYBE has other K-pop groups, like the girl group G-Friend, which released a single titled Mago before breaking up. G-Friend's last album was titled Walpurgis Night, a term for a night when witches gather to perform rituals. HYBE also debuted a girl group named Les Seraphim, which we will get to later, named after biblical divine beings. While online discourse frequently attempts to link HYBE groups' aesthetic motifs to the philosophies of Dawn World, most groups and K-pop industry leaders are now openly embracing the occult as an aesthetic choice. When looking at other K-pop groups, Lisa, a member of the famous girl group Blackpink, collaborated with Anima on a song titled Bad Angel, where she is depicted as a fallen angel, which in the Christian narrative are spiritual beings who rebelled against Yahweh and were cast out of his divine counsel. Through this video, it seems the creators are trying to cast this event in a positive light. The group Dreamcatcher has a focus on dark magic, curse weaving, and dream world architecture. Vix deploys voodoo hexes, chthonic mythology, and body horror. Red Velvet explores themes of witches' covens, ritualistic executions, and gothic thrillers. Pixie centers on dark fantasy folklore, witchcraft, and Faustian bargains. N-Hypen incorporates gothic vampirism, blood rituals, and historical curses. Purple Kiss uses witchcraft, potion brewing, and mystical sisterhoods. Aespa synthesizes cyber occultism, digital deities, and cosmic horror. And Idol frames concepts of spiritual rebirth, religious transgression, and dark temptation. Other groups in the mainstream K-pop market include IVE, who deploy subverted magical realism, narcissist mythology, and dark doppelganger rituals. Les Seraphim utilizes Jewish and Christian religious iconography, sacred subversion, and biblical seraphim naming conventions. New Jeans' exploration of psychological liminality, eerie parasocial hauntings, and surreal forest mysticism. And Seventeen's expression of celebratory pantheism and dystopian existential control through the universal deification of art all express how the K-pop industry increasingly utilizes traditional shamanistic and esoteric concepts as a creative foundation to explore deeper, more complex, supernatural narratives that are packaged as hip, popular, and trendy. Bums Up, a Korean dance crew, recently went viral as well in their performance called Dreamscape at the Edge of a Dream, where the group blended dynamic street dance with traditional Korean elements like sangmo hat spinning and buchechum fan dancing, reimagining the passage to the afterlife as guided by shamanic reapers. The main musical influence on K-pop comes from the EDM electronic dance music genre, which is widely regarded as a spiritual powerhouse in the West. EDM, or electronic dance music, is a genre that has been influential worldwide and has influenced many music genres. EDM has been one of the most influential forces in modern K-pop, and in most new K-pop songs, it is the main musical component. EDM is identified by its techno sounds, with repetitive beats that build to the song's peak, where a bass drop occurs and lights flash. EDM concerts have become a worldwide phenomenon, where thousands of people gather together for a collective experience of not only music, but also community, enmeshed with dance, drinking, and psychoactive drugs. The raves provide a connection with others around you, helping one forget about all the destruction in the world and instead focus on communing with others through music and dance, bringing about unspeakable joy. EDM is known for creating psycho-spiritual events that lead individuals to altered states of consciousness. These events are transformative experiences where subjective participation leads to altered states of consciousness, which in turn create transpersonal phenomenon observed at raves, clubs, and music festivals. Drugs such as MDMA, ecstasy, methamphetamine, cocaine, ketamine, GHB, Rohypnol, marijuana, LSD, and psilocybin mushrooms are commonly used, often with participants using one or more of these drugs at the same time. Compare this to the ecstatic states and altered states of consciousness of the shamans in ritual, often initiated through song, dance, and psychoactive drugs. The parallels are undeniable. These EDM concerts are not only addictive because of the substances used, but also because of the emotional feeling that is provided to participants, many citing that their fear disappears and their anxiety is dissolved. Inner peace is brought to them through the DJ's music, often stating, quote, "Last night a DJ saved my life," end quote. There is also perceived healing at these events, claimed to have taken place through the music, dancing, and community. Once again, as mentioned, compare this to the claims BTS fans make about the healing effect their music has on them. Now draw a parallel between the healing of shamans through song and dance. According to a study, quote, "It is not uncommon at electronic music festivals to find multiple healing artists, often claiming to be able to manipulate energy, by way of a specific modality such as Reiki or pranic healing, to facilitate healing and promote well-being to the energy's receivers. Often claiming to be light workers, these healers feel that they have a connection to a higher source of abstract energy or God source. These DJs are seen as techno shamans who, just as the ancient shaman, are a blend of the physical and the spiritual. The DJ is a blend of the human and the machine. Through the DJ's leadership, playing beats that blend tribal beats with technological sounds, they create a form of neo-paganism and neo-shamanism that represent the meta-modern narrative of people searching for magic and spirituality in a technologically advanced world. EDM concerts, as seen in the testimonies of DJs, artists, and participants, are a neo-shamanic practice that seeks to tap into the same spiritual power as humanity's ancestors through ritualistic practices and group participation, which create religious experiences with many participants in EDM concerts describing not only a rebirth, but also seeing and coming into contact with spirits with whom they either had a positive relationship with or even have become possessed by through entering into these altered states of consciousness. Having these shared experiences paired with copying one another's movements, the crowd awaits the orders of the DJ, or techno-shaman, to bring them into their shared ritualistic experience, where many claim healing experiences through participation similar to that of ancient shamans. Altered states of consciousness occur not only for those who use drugs, but also for those who refuse drugs or substances and still experience these states of consciousness as a result of the music, scenery, and dancing. It is also worth noting that dancing for extended periods of time leads to exhaustion, which can eventually lead to dizziness and hyperventilation, which can bring on altered states of consciousness, which when paired with the emotions of group solidarity, create shared realities. This is also known as energy transfer, in which energy generated by emotions continually builds and, through group participation, can lead to positive outcomes such as healing in the shamanistic worldview. Keep this in mind when comparing the concerts of K-pop demon hunters that we will cover and noting their similarities. Not only are these concerts and raves heavily geared towards shamanistic themes, but they are not spiritually or culturally neutral either. They are not just fun party environments. At most EDM concerts, symbolism plays an important role in harnessing and encouraging energy in the venue, and when asked about the types of symbols they see at these concerts, participants stated that the most popular ones are related to sacred geometry and ancient geometric symbols. This is important because sacred geometry is not only naturally occurring, but also used in all forms of occultism and shamanism to cast spells. Alongside this geometry, symbols of Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, and alien life are integrated into the stage set, and images are flashed at the concerts. Yet, participants state that Christian symbols were largely absent from these events. It is worth noting that Christian symbols were the only ones not used to induce these trance-like shamanistic festivals, and this absence was justified by those interviewed as a result of rebellion against the predominant system of Christianity in America. However, it is also important to realize that apostolic Christianity is also the only religion that forbids the use of psychoactive drugs, divination, spellcasting, and communication with demonic powers. Christianity views these spirits and practices of EDM as demonic in nature, without exception. It is from these music videos, EDM culture, and K-pop groups that the all-time hit movie K-pop Demon Hunters draws its influences. Through EDM, a genre that has significantly influenced all of K-pop music, and shamanism, which underlies Korean spiritual identity, the Goot rituals have moved from the village to concert halls, from the campfire to a live stream, and from community gatherings to children's cartoons.